This video is made for adult collectors because you probably need a certification to actually handle this thing. Baltmatrix, you know, this guy. He's great. Go watch his most recent videos because he's an original. But way back in the day, he made a video on this very toy, not this deco, but the mold. And, well...
I'm not completely sure, but the unit that I got, or the figure that I got, always had issues with transforming. So the motor would start, and it would always start to grind and start clicking, and every once in a while I would have to, just kind of grab the legs and pull it just a little bit for something to catch, and then it would continue. And finally, one day, I just hit the button to do it, and it just sat there, and it made this horrible grinding noise, and then just stopped. But what I didn't realize was the motor was still running. It was still going, and it kept heating up, and finally, I walked away and came back, and it was on fire. I don't think there was any smoke, because at the time I had sprinklers in my room. And if there was smoke, those would have gone off. It was just... I just came back and there were flames.
Yeah, it caught fire. That's a thing. My thought was probably it's like motor burnout, but it did happen. But most copies are fine, and you probably aren't susceptible to fire. Just please untab the trailer before transforming it so you don't burn out the motor. This toy is pretty rad. And so is its smaller partner here, who I realize in this shot is actually bigger than the main figure in the video. Oops. Armada Prime in the Power Links deco is, I think, the coolest deco this mold has ever worn. That and the yellow one. While Prime itself looks very muted and kind of plain, the combined mode, damn, it's fancy. Prime himself is nothing more than a brick. It doesn't do much other than stand there, but it's pretty chunky and big. The plastic and paint also feel very high quality. Plastic is thick, paint is durable, all is well. However, his shoulders look like they come straight out of his ears, and like one leg likes to compress a lot because this copy was used. He does have the MP01 mouthplate gimmick, which I think is really neat. I like that gimmick, and I kind of wish they'd do it on more toys. It's really fun. I don't have the weapons or minicon, unfortunately, but he is 5mm, so you can give him pretty much anything modern. Thank you, ROG, for existing. His posing, also just forget about it. His arms move and the legs move, but it's all like not worth it. He can't balance, he can't look dynamic, he can't move his arms out. But that's not what this toy is for. Now, the next part of this video was the chunky red Ultra Magnus, Overload. Overload is actually the trailer of this dude, I think, because this is Rollout. And he's weird. He's a tiny, but also not tiny minicon that has a big gut and a stick coming out of his ass. You can also give him a big head, so he can technically robo-pooth, which is very, very new. My figure also had his legs break off, like, immediately, so I had to glue them back into place. And he can barely reach past his chest, but for some reason, I still like this minicon a lot, because he's, like, much bigger than the other minicons. He's just sort of like the guy who stands in the back. He's like me. When I go out with my friends, because I'm 6'3", I'm usually the dude in the back because I'm so tall, and that's me as a minicon. But when you turn him into a truck and flip up the big head and press him into the trailer, you get a great noise. And you get this brick known as Overload. He looks great. I love the way this looks. The colors and the deco, it all just looks really nice. I also dig the truck being so small, just sticking out of the front there. Just goes to show you how massive this thing would be in real life. He has missiles in his shoulders, which are cool. They don't do anything other than sit there. He also has 5mm ports in his hands, which is cool, but the arm guards get in the way of him holding most things. Kenzan's swords work, though, from Transformers Go. His articulation is also forget about it, but it sounds very nice. Now, transforming Overload is easy and honestly very satisfying to get the legs in place. But Armada Prime, alright, Robo-Sen at home, it's so cool. work. Ah, there we go. He has a base mode, and it looks okay. I'm not the biggest fan of this base mode, but when do base modes on a toy like this actually end up looking good? At least to me, I never think they look that great. Now, into trailer mode. This one. There we go. Now, the truck mode of Prime is very cool. I love how messy the trailer looks, because it makes it feel like it's carrying everything, like it's super utilitarian looking, and then you can also attach overload to make it look even more utilitarian, and bro, it's fucking massive. I will say the turning radius is not the greatest on Prime. The legs do bump into the trailer a bit too much. You can store things in the side bits, and then you could, like, they're like the base mode parts, so you can launch mini-cons at people out of the trailer too if you want. That's kind of funny. Oh, and the truck mode, there's fists hanging out the back. He can reverse punch you, I guess. This, by the way, is the same size as Fans Hobby Armada Prime, but that's packed away right now, so the best comparison you're getting is this. Overload, on the other hand, has a massive turning radius, but his trailer is a big mishmash of bits. It looks kind of ugly, if I'm honest, but it serves a purpose. It can carry Jetfire. I don't have a Jetfire, but I have Skylinks, so I guess that works. It still looks kind of ugly, though, but in a good sort of way. It's hideous, but I like it. Now back to Prime for a sec, because there's one more self-transforming thing to do, and it never wants to work properly for me. Oh, come on, do the thing. Do the thing. There we go. No, don't fold back. Oh my god. Make pant. I swear it does it. Come on. I'm pointing at the IR blaster. There we go. That's gonna fall off. Pants mode. No, not those pants. This pants. Combine it with Prime and you get this thing. Now, you don't need the power to make it work. The motors use ratchets to move, so if the batteries are dead or you don't want to use the electronics because they're quite loud, you can just ratchet the limbs over. Like, that's something you can do. He is tall, like Commander size, which makes me want whatever this piece of art is hinting to. He looks impressive, large, and is fully immobile, but still cool. Mine is so twitchy, it makes the lights and sounds if you breathe on it wrong. And it's full of hollow spaces, and it isn't the most sturdy thing in the world. Mine does tend to untab the legs every now and again. His hand is supposed to light up to illuminate the two clear smokestack guns that I don't have, but mine also doesn't seem to be working properly, i.e. it's broken. Head is pretty swish. I love the smokestack pipe style head wing things. They remind me of the Elite Guard symbol, like that might have been where they got that idea from. I don't know, it looks cool. And Overload still has stuff to do here as well, turning into a backpack thingy by parts forming and flipping around and then struggling to get it all plugged in, but once it is, you get Prime with some big fuck you cannons on the back. Oh, this actually looks quite epic as hell. I love it. I don't have the missiles for this guy, but it can shoot them, so that's some extra play. This thing is just cool. I really hope Hasbro does make an Overload when they eventually do Prime, because they keep hinting towards it, and then they need to do Jetfire, because, you know, I gotta get those extra pants. I like this combo a lot. I very much need to get a Jetfire to complete this set, but I really want to get the Astro Train version, which is a lot harder to find. That's why I haven't got one yet. But right here, what you have is a lot of fun. It does something extremely interesting, and that something is an aspect you don't see very often, like at all. You want self-transforming Optimus? Ignore the $1,000 one that I can't be bothered to take out of the box again. Just go get this one. I got both of these used for 40 bucks each, and while they aren't complete, there is enough here for you to enjoy both toys and their play patterns. I definitely recommend getting both this and Jetfire 2 because, you know, complete sets. But that's my look at Armada Optimus and Armada Overload. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.